We're here with HP, HS, who's 15, and she's she's graduating from her vision therapy program. Why don't you put into your own words, what kind of difficulties did you find that you had before, and what are you noticing now?
I struggled with reading. My vision wasn't very good. Struggled with comprehension. I was tired a lot. Yeah.
And what do you notice now?
My reading's better, and my overall vision I feel like is better.
What can you tell us about remembering what you're reading?
My comprehension's a lot better. When I read, I feel like I only need to read through once instead of like multiple times.
So before you had to read through a number of times, and now you're able to read just once and remember most of what you just read. Good.
Yes.
What do you notice in terms of how long your homework takes now?
My homework does take a little bit less time.
Good, because you're able to now more easily bring your eyes in, converge, and bring your eyes out, diverge.
Yeah, before I couldn't do that at all.
Yeah, and now you can do it a whole lot easier. What does convergence and divergence mean?
Converging is moving your eyes together to focus on one thing, and then diverging is keeping your eyes like separate to see like multiple things.
Excellent. So see, like the board. Excellent. And this is going to help you ultimately when you start to drive in a couple of years, and even when you're in college or afterwards. Anything. Well, how did you work this into your life? Coming into vision therapy.
What do you mean?
Well, like how did you work around what you do here in therapy and what you did at home?
Like the home activities?
Yeah.
It was pretty easy. There's not like a ton of work. It only took me like probably 5-10 minutes each day. Yeah.
And that just reinforces and makes automatic what you've learned here in therapy.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to add?
No.
Okay, let's turn to Mom and Dad now.
I go first.
Yeah, there's questions.
Mom and Dad, what do you notice?
I notice that she's not as tired, and that she's actually one or two times actually picked up the book and laid in the family room and read a book. So that didn't happen a year or so ago.
So that's the difference. Wow.
Yeah.
Before getting her to read was like wrestling with an alligator. Now she'll occasionally just do it on her own, which is kind of, okay, that's cool.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're no longer alligator wrestling.
No,
Exactly.
That's
positive
great.
change.
Yes.
How did you work it into your life?
Oh, we just reminded her right before bedtime to do the exercises, and half the time she'd already done them, but that's okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
It made a very nice point in the day made it very memorable.
What do you notice in terms of, you said that she was doing well in school even beforehand, and what has changed now?
I think her homework is easier. She can just get it done. She doesn't have to worry about it.
Well, it's definitely a confidence thing. If absolutely nothing else,
That's
she's
true.
more confident and calm about the whole.
Yes.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Before we were driving at night, she kept saying that she couldn't see very far on the road, and she was very concerned because she is going to be driving in another year or so. And I find that she can see now more on the road, especially at night. It's not as black, it's not as dark, and she seems to be able to see more peripheral vision as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
I'm impressed by how the progress worked really nicely over, 8 months?
Yeah.
It was, pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Pretty smooth. Clearly you've done this before.
Yeah.
once or twice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recommend this
yeah,
to families that are struggling. Definitely recommend this.
There's certainly a process, there's a logic, there's a curriculum, so there's a logical sequence of how we do this and what we do. So it's kind of like a school curriculum. This is what we need to do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so that once you get to November, you're talking about pilgrims.
Exactly.
Good. Well, I'm really happy that we were able to help you.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you did so well, and I'm glad that you learned the skills and now apply it to your real life. Great. Thanks so much for sharing.